on to the next topic. Talking about guys that looks like they're pretty much on their way out. I kind of want to get your thoughts on this. Kevin Durant. Let's start off with him. Let's start off with Phoenix Suns. Kevin Durant and Devin Booker. Devin Booker said, he's been saying that he want to stay a Phoenix Sun, but I don't know if that'll be up to him. It seems like Phoenix kind of wants to just cut bait with everybody. I think Bradley Beal is the first name that's going to be off the board. I think they're going to find out where he wants to go and just trade him there or trade him somewhere. Trade him somewhere for a bag of chips, bro. Like, just get that man off the team in general. He's been an absolute disaster. But I will say, I think Kevin Durant, we talked about the teams that he wanted to go to. I think, before the episode, we talked about Kevin Durant. Yeah, man, I think the list of teams that he listed was that the Phoenix Suns that he had mutual interest in was and those teams were Minnesota, the Knicks, the Rockets, the Spurs, and the Heat. Now, I'm not gonna lie to you, I don't know why the man want to go to Miami. Just being completely honest, I do not know why you want to go there, especially after what happened with Jimmy. But whatever. But what was kind of interesting was I can't remember the guy's name. I think his name was Brett Siegel. He put out an article around this time that Shams kind of said this and was like that. KD does want to go to the Rockets, but the Rockets don't have interest in KD at this time, and they may not have it because they're not trying to give up anybody essential like a Jalen Green or like a Şengün for KD, which it'll take because that's really their young core. They're not getting up a Ben Thompson, and I don't think Jabari Smith is enough to get the deal done, even with picks. The Knicks, I don't know, we'll see, but he basically brought up, I think he brought up the Rockets, he brought up the Mavericks, but he did say in the article the one sleeper team he had was the Spurs, and that he did report that there were murmurs and whispers around the league that the Spurs could be really pursuing Kevin Durant in the offseason. First of all, just huge shout out to our general manager and Brian Wright. That brother is cooking. He cooking with bacon grease right now. Hot vegetable oil, Ryan. Hey, bro, better tell what's his name, Pelinka, to take some notes. This brother cooking. Nah, I'm playing. Our boys did the trade for Luka. But yeah, Sports Illustrated did put out an article today on a trade that was sending Kevin Durant to the Spurs in the offseason. And I'm not gonna lie to you, the reason why I think two teams kind of make the most sense in my opinion, that would be Minnesota, and I think the Spurs are the two teams that kind of make the most sense. For the Spurs aspect, they can give up a shit ton of picks. You can give up a Devin Vassell, which is a young guard, and you can give up at least multiple pick swaps if you want to, and some other first round picks to get Kevin Durant. I'm not gonna lie to you, he would fit perfectly in San Antonio. I'm gonna make the Spurs argument, bro. He fits perfectly with San Antonio. He can really be the go-to option with De'Aaron Fox. I don't think it will really hurt Stephon Castle's growth. If anything, I think it would improve it. Kevin Durant would just be that basically Harrison Barnes replacement because we would have to give up Harrison and Vassell to match the contract. You basically would just be replacing Kevin Durant with Harrison Barnes. Yeah, you lose Vassell, but hey, man, Stephon Castle. You got him still. You still got the picks you got in this draft. You got 2 first-round picks in this year's draft. One is going to be possibly in the top. Well, it's going to be in the top 10. The other one's going to be probably wherever the Hawks finish. So probably maybe 14th or 15th. So you got trade capital to do it, and I think Kevin Durant fits perfectly. 3 just basically that wing that can just knock down shots consistently, can go get a bucket. He's still one of the best scorers in the league. He's still a top 10 player in the league. So I think all in all, the Spurs probably make the most sense, and I think they got the most to get the deal done. But I'm already knowing you, man. You want him to go to Minnesota, so go ahead and talk to us about that.
I do think the best fit for him would be the Spurs, but I do really want to see him in Minnesota.
That would be dangerous.
I think him with Ant, depending on what you have to give up. Again, you have some young pieces on the team as well. Yeah, I just think it would be dangerous. Just the combination of Ant and KD, it'd be filthy.
Yeah.
So yeah, for me, I do think the Spurs would make the most sense for him. But I would love to see him on the Timberwolves.
Yeah. And speaking about the Minnesota, they put out an article too that's saying, it got leaked that the Suns and the Wolves did talk about a trade for Kevin Durant around the deadline, but KD didn't want to leave during in the middle of the season, which is understandable. But that this is something that they could most definitely revisit. I think in the offseason you could legitimately package Rudy Gobert in the deal to get Kevin Durant. Maybe it would definitely have to be like, I think either Rudy Gobert or Julius Randle, but you're going to have to throw in a guy like Dillingham, maybe a guy like Terrence Shannon Jr. as well to kind of sweeten the deal. But you would have to give up a lot of that young talent you got sitting on the bench and maybe, a Randle to get a deal done with picks for Kevin Durant. I wouldn't mind this at all. I think, getting rid of Rudy Gobert would be just icing on the cake. That would be beautiful. Give up him on that crazy ass contract, and then you would have Ant, KD, possibly bring back Nas Reed, and you can just build from there. To be honest, you got Ant and KD, and KD still got, in my opinion, I think 2 to 3 more years left at his prime. Well, not at his prime, but playing at a high level, I'll say. So yeah, I mean, those are my top 2 teams. I don't think he goes to Dallas. I don't think he goes to Houston. I don't. The only other team I could say maybe is the Thunder.
Yeah, I can't really see him going to OKC. I think the next guy we're going to be getting into, I could see him going to OKC depending on how OKC's season ends. But
Yeah.
yeah, I would really like to see him in Minnesota, and kind of like you were saying with the Spurs. I just want to see him go to the Spurs so that man can move down to San Antonio, go get season tickets, go see his Spurs play, have the season of a lifetime. That's why I want to see him in San
Showtime
Antonio.
Spurs. Stop playing with us. De'Aaron Fox. Man, I'm bringing back Chris Paul at 41. We're going to have Chris Paul, Stephon. Shout out to De'Aaron Fox, Wemby. Bro, we get Kevin Durant, bro.
Man,
I don't
you
think people
forgot the part.
understand.
You forgot the part where you trade for Steph and LeBron. You forgot about that part.
Man's. Hey, man, shout out to Nick Wright for that trade. Oh, and speaking, this is a perfect transition into our next guy because Nick Wright, I don't know if you watched First Things First, but he talked about it. He said he didn't think KD was a good fit for the Spurs and that the Spurs should try to get Giannis if made available. I think if anything, KD is the better fit over Giannis. I definitely think so. I think he's the better fit over Giannis just because of Giannis is very ball dominant. He can't really play off the ball too much, but I ain't gonna say I wouldn't take Giannis. But yeah, first off, do you think Giannis is gonna ask out? Because I was seeing something that maybe the Dame injury gives him another year, like of maybe wanting to see what they can do with Dame.
It's just always something with Milwaukee, like when Dame got traded, it was like that expectation of holy shit, Dame and Giannis together, like nobody's gonna be able to stop him. But it just seems like there's always something that goes wrong with Milwaukee. Where like last year, Giannis got hurt. I think the year before that, I think somebody else got hurt.
Giannis.
Yeah, Giannis. Yeah. So it's like something always just goes wrong. Where it's like, if this, if that, then it would be perfect. It would be a perfect situation for him. I like obviously yes, there is a way I could see them, like especially Giannis, just being like I feel like he's really really like loyal and he really really likes Milwaukee, but I feel like he likes winning more. But I could see a way that like they just convince him, hey man, just one more season, one more season. But I feel like they've been doing that shit, especially last year. I feel like
For a
this
while
season,
now, like
yeah.
yeah, they've been doing that. Like, man, buy in one more year with him for at least the last 2.
But I do
But
think if he does ask out, I do think a perfect spot for him would be the Thunder. If the Thunder would want to give up all their assets, and if the Thunder falls
you're gonna
short,
have to come off J-Dub or Chet. Most definitely come off J-Dub or Chet.
but they have the picks for it. They can give up a hell of picks for him, and
Would you
essentially
come off
just
J-Dub?
for Giannis, yeah, definitely.
I ain't gonna lie, it's Giannis, fam.
Yeah,
Like,
Giannis is arguably a top 3 player in the NBA right now.
did you give up Chet?
I don't know. I think Chet's better.
Giannis is 30.
I think Chet's better than J Dub, and I also think it's just the youth. Like you could possibly have this shit for the next 5-10 years. If everyone plays their cards right and everybody's healthy, they're just gonna grow together. That's the thing with OKC, and they got the picks. That's like, do you want to disturb it? But I just do think a perfect fit with like, man, just imagine Giannis on the Thunder. It'd be unstoppable. But
Yeah, it would be. I'm trying to decide on who I would rather give up. I would probably say Chet because I think that'll be the better fit. I think Giannis and Chet could play alongside each other. It'd be like Brook Lopez and Giannis all over again. Yeah, nah, I give up J-Dub. I'd rather give up J-Dub. Yeah, I'm not passing up him and Chet together with Shay. That's filthy work. That's devious work. Plus, you could really run Giannis at the 5. That and I wonder if you think Giannis would have a problem running the. I don't think he'd have a problem running the five.
No,
I
I
honestly
don't
don't
think
think
so.
he would. I think that would be the most that would be OP as hell. Run Chet at the four, Giannis at the five. Fuck.
I
And
do.
you could still go like Caruso at the two. If you want to put or Lou Dort, whatever you want to do, you could probably run that right there.
I do think if he does stay in Milwaukee, they're gonna have to go out there and get some sort of center. You're gonna have to go out there and get some sort of center to pair with Giannis, because I just feel like Brook Lopez just he's not getting it done. He's not.
Well, it's a wrap. He
Yeah,
finna be 40. Like,
yeah,
and he's just shooting.
yeah. You got to go out there and get some sort of
I
center.
mean, Kenny, he's still a really good interior defender. I'm not gonna
Hmm.
knock him on
Yeah,
that, but like offensively, you're not bringing too much to the table anymore. But I mean, like he'll be good coming off the bench, really good. I feel like that'd be his perfect role. But they do like need another guy, another big next to Giannis. But I would say OKC. I don't really think of another team. I know he's been linked to the Rockets. He's been talking about he wants to play in a big market. I think the Rockets would be a good fit for him. I don't see the Rockets giving up anybody of importance in a trade for these guys. Like realistically, it really depends on what the Bucks want because the Bucks don't strike me as a team to just take scraps. Like they want the fucking house. They coming off Giannis, they gonna want shit, bro. They want the house. You the Rockets, you might have to come off Jalen Green with Jabari and a shit ton of, and then you know what I'm saying? Like if you're Giannis, I don't even know. I think if you're Giannis, the team you want to go to is OKC. I think Golden State could be on the table. I could see Golden State being greedy if they don't win it this year, being like, man, we're gonna trade Jimmy ass on some hoe shit. But I mean, or to be honest, find a way to get Draymond up out of there, match some contracts to get Giannis. But I don't know. We'll see. I think it's definitely a lot. I don't think Golden State can make that trade, but I don't know, man. People saying the Spurs. I just don't know if him and Wemby would work. It's just I don't know if him, Wemby, and Fox will work. Like it's just a lot of like Giannis needs shooters around him. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like if you look back when they won the title, bro, this man had Drew, Dante DiVincenzo. I know he was kind of hurt, but I forgot who that Connaughton was the guy I think replacing him in that year. You had PJ Tucker, Brooke Lopez, Middleton. Like you had a shit ton of just straight shooters on that team, bro. Um, I know I'm forgetting some other people too on that team. I don't know why I can
Well,
think of that
what
team. Like
was
Bobby
it? Was it
Portis.
Malik? Wasn't Malik Beasley on the team? Or am I
Nah,
wrong? I know he was on the
no,
Bucks, but was he on it that year?
no. He was on the Bucks last year.
Okay.
I'm gonna look up who they had on that team because I don't know why, but for the life of me, I just do not remember that team. Uh, yeah. So I think Torrey Craig played. I can't remember for sure, but I just remember him. He had a shit ton of he had a definitely shit ton of shooters around him, and that's just kind of the recipe for him. He needs to be ball dominant. He can play with another superstar, but like that's just the recipe for Giannis. I think him and Shea could work. I just don't see him and Wemby really working. Even with D Fox, I mean, you would have the best defensive team in the like them both of them on the floor defensively would be nasty, but like they're both kind of rim protectors. They both are very ball dominant. I don't know. And that's speaking as a Spurs fan. I think Giannis and Wemby would be legit overkill. I think Wemby would have to take a back seat because Giannis is just I don't know, man. What do you think? Do you think he would fit on the Spurs?
Yeah. I think you fit on the Spurs. I think great players figure a way out to. Like, I mean, shit we saw with the Warriors. Like,
I mean, Wemby could be the Brook Lopez.
great players figure out a way to fit with each other. I mean, it might not be immediately. But I do think that it would work for him. I also, you talking about shooters. I mean, there is a team over in LA that they just went 15 for 20, I believe, in the first half against I think a team in OKC.
They did. Shout out to them boys.
And you talking about shooters? I mean, they got Luka, Gabe Vincent, Dorian Finney-Smith. Shit, I'll go out there and chuck up a couple threes if we get Giannis.
All right, bro. This man talking about I'll
Um,
go out there and shoot a couple threes.
no, but I do think that you guys and OKC would be perfect fits for Giannis. Again, kind of with you guys, it may not fit right away, but it'll work out. It'll work out
Yeah.
eventually.
Now, I think the team he will go to is the Nets. Um, I think and then we'll go on to the next guy I want to talk about for trade. But I think the Nets low key make the most sense. We talked about them possibly maybe getting the number one pick in this year's draft. They have a shit ton of draft capital. Number one, they have young players to give up for Giannis, and it's the big market Giannis was talking about. And the thing is, with the East, we talked about it. They have their top five in the salary cap, right? Hear me out. Your top five in the salary cap, you get Giannis, and you got a crazy pick in the draft, which you probably won't have to give up. You probably won't have to give up that pick for Giannis. Say realistically, you give up a shit ton of future picks. You keep your whatever pick you land this year. Say because there's still a chance they could land the number one pick in the draft, right? So say for example, they get the 1, 2, 3 pick in the draft because I think right now the season ended. They're projected to get the sixth pick, but you could jump from 6 to 1 so easily. So just say that happens. You telling me you would have all that money in cash space, right? So you would have shit ton of money in cash space. You would bring Giannis in, and then you got the draft picks. So my thing is, bro, you can legit turn this around in one off season and build it the right way. Giannis is 30. You could draft a really good young player right next to him, and you could bring in veteran free agents, and you could turn around this team. And I if they get Giannis, Brooklyn might mess around and bro, they might fuck around and make the playoffs. Like, bro, think about this. You know how many first round picks Brooklyn has this year? They got four. They
That's
got
crazy.
they first of all, they have Milwaukee's pick. So that already can be a conversation starter for Milwaukee to get their pick back in the draft. They got New York's pick, they got Houston's pick, and they also have their own pick. So they got four first round picks in this draft. Now tell me they can't give up three of those for Giannis with
See,
more. Cause
see,
say
my,
Cause think about it. Cause think about it. Say you give up the three this year plus two future first round picks, or say you give up two this year plus three future first round picks. You give up a Cam Thomas, or you give up whoever you want to, them young players, Claxton, whatever on this roster, and Giannis goes to the big market he wants to. I think I think that's the most realistic option for Giannis. I know we talking about these contenders and future contenders, but I would definitely say the Bucks is like the most realistic team for Giannis.
my whole thing is like with Giannis, like he's talking about how he wants to win now essentially, and I just can't see a way that the Nets are gonna win right now this next season. And it's like I feel like I just feel like that's what Giannis is like frustrated about because it's
It
like
would take a lot. You would have to sign free agents. You would have to,
yeah,
yeah,
but
you'd have to sign a shit ton of it.
yeah, but
Yeah,
they're not winning it next season though, and
yeah,
I
nah,
feel
nah,
like
nah, nah,
that's
nah, nah,
what he wants. You know, like I completely understand like that's why he wants to get traded, but it's like oh he possibly wants to get traded. There's obviously rumors about it, but it's just I don't know. I just
yeah. I think him wanting out, it's really only three teams that can legitimately trade for him. Four, I could say four: Houston, Brooklyn, the Spurs, and the Thunder. And that right there, I mean, you got to really pick your poison with those four teams, bro. You got to really choose wisely. Because out of those four teams, top choice got to be OKC. You get to play with the best. Shea. I mean, I'm taking like, look, I love Wimby, but Shea, bro. Like, I'm not gonna lie. Like, I mean, you do got Wimby and D Fox, but you get Shea, bro. And plus, knowing Milwaukee, they gonna want Steph Castle. I'm not giving up Stephon Castle, bro. Fuck no. I'm giving
you
up him up in rookie of the year.
you forgot a team though. My fault. I gotta fix my beanie. You forgot a team.
The Lakers, you
Yeah.
crazy out your mind. They're not trading for no Giannis, bro. You can dream. This man crazy. But
I'm
yeah,
gonna be driving back for something. I'm gonna get a call from you, bro. You guys fucking traded for Giannis. Yeah, who we trade?
nah, bro, that's not
How'd
gonna
we
happen.
get him? Man, you guys gave up Gabe Vincent and a second round pick for him. Oh, okay,
Yeah,
okay. Appreciate
I
you.
remember, bro. Y'all boys traded Luca. I was going crazy, bro. That shit was crazy. That shit was crazy. But yeah, I think the last guy we could talk about possibly getting traded, going out, going out over there to Charlotte, Lamelo. Actually, no, I want to talk about Lamelo and Zion. What you think about both of them? I think
Um,
they both out of there. I think Lamelo's gonna be harder because the injuries, but I think they both out of there.
See, my whole thing with like Zion is like, dude, he's so good when he's healthy and he's on the court. But that's his whole thing is he just can't stay on the court. And if it's for him or like teams, cause I remember they came out and they said, oh excuse me, Zion came out and he's like, I want to play. Sometimes I want to play and the team just essentially won't let me play. So it's like, I just wonder like more so what would you even trade for Zion? You know, like for the
Who would
Spurs
trade?
for
I
example.
mean, I think the Pistons would be the
Mm-hmm.
best fit for him.
Let's just use okay, cool. Let's use the Pistons as an example. What would the Pistons realistically give up? Like, how would you even trade for him? Like, yeah, you're trading for the upside, but then you also have to trade for like well, he possibly might not be healthy for however many games a year, you know. So it's like I feel like he's so much harder to trade for, but also I feel like LaMelo is always
I feel
kind
like
of been,
LaMelo the same boat
yeah. So
because his ankles are made of glass.
I don't know. I do think both of them. Obviously, I could see a world with both of them on a different team next year. But it's just like, what would you even give up? You know, what would you? Because you have to trade for the upside, but you also have to be realistic of like, well, this is possibly what we are gonna get. So I don't even know what you would trade for him, to be honest with you.
I'm trying to think of a spot for LaMelo. I would like him in Orlando. I would love Trey Young in Orlando. That would be insane. But I think LaMelo realistically, it's kind of hard to trade for both of them, like you said, bro, because they're not like you're not gonna get crazy value for either of them. That's what I will say. You're not gonna get like a blockbuster deal. I think at the most you'll see like a Zach. It'll be like a De'Aaron Fox trade, not to the extent of what Sacramento got from the Spurs, but like it'll be like a player swap with picks. It'll be the outlook of that type of trade. I think Zion, bro, you got to be careful. I mean, like I'm not gonna lie, Zion's if you trade for him, I think both of them are like medium risk, high reward trades. If that makes sense, like. You don't trade for them while giving them extensions. You trade for them while they're on their current contract, and you got to see what they show you. And I think that could play a difference. I think if you trade for both of them and you tell them, man, you got to prove it before we give you an extension, then I think you can work it out that way. Like, cause I'm trying to really think like, what's the team for LaMelo? I mean, I honestly don't know. Like, do you know a team for LaMelo right now where if he gets traded, where he could go?
I think we were saying with the Magic. I think they needed like that true, uh, that true point guard. I do think obviously Trey Young would be a great fit for him
Trey
as
Young
well.
would be insane with if he goes to the Magic. Them boys, like, but yeah, if he goes to Magic, it's crazy. I want to see Zach LaVine with the Nuggets. I feel like he went to Denver. Them boys might win a title again. But that I'm just bringing up like crazy fits. But I mean, like LaMelo, I don't know, bro.
Shit, you,
Because
you you were just talking a second ago about the Wizards need a true point guard.
I could see him going to Washington. Washington does have that Memphis pick where you could legitimately give up Memphis. Say they finish the 20th overall pick, give up that with future capital to get LaMelo. LaMelo and Jordan Poole on the same team though is like that's a coach's worst nightmare, bro.
Shooting nothing but threes the whole
Nothing.
game.
Like I ain't gonna lie, LaMelo is more of a playmaker, but like he chunks, bro. And you gotta literally sit there and be like, damn, we got these two motherfuckers. In the clutch, it will be hell. You got both of them on the court in the clutch. It's like AAU, bro. Dribble, 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 step back three. Like I'm telling you exactly what it's gonna be, or an insanely tough shot. Zion, I think the best fit for Zion straight up is honestly the Pistons. I think that's the best fit for him, bro. I like to see Zion with a team like the Bulls or the Pistons. I think those two teams kind of make the most sense for Zion. Now I could see the Bulls trading for Zion. That is a decision I think their franchise would make. I think they could do something like that, but I think the Pistons would too. I think you go to Detroit. You could probably give up like Ron Holland, um, maybe some other players and like some other low key players and some picks, but nothing too crazy. I think they're both. I think to get both of them, you trade up at most two firsts, nothing more than two firsts. I'm not coming off 3 first round picks for Zion. Depending on what type of team you are, if you a contender, fuck it. Them picks is gonna be ass anyway. But I'm not finna give up no goddamn. If, for example, if he gets traded to, if he gets traded to Chicago, I'm not coming off 3 first-round picks for Zion.